Here are some of the craziest mistakes everyone's making in Bite by Night. Starting off with our killer Mimic, we're going to be going into mistake number 1, not using your speed mode correctly. A whole bunch of people believe that Mimic speed mode is overpowered when really it's the exact opposite. When you go speed mode while all the other survivors are full HP, you're practically telling everyone that you want to be a tickle monster the entire game, since your speed mode M1s literally only do 6 damage now after the nerfs. Instead, what you want to be doing is chasing survivors down with your strength mode or stealth mode for the most damage, while they're healthy, and then finishing them off after you hit them 2 or 3 times with the other modes. Moving on to mistake number 2 with Mimic, it's changing modes too often. Changing your mode too often can lead to survivors just straight up running away from you because the animation for it is literally so slow. So instead, you should only be changing modes before a chase or changing into stealth mode to go dig and find other survivors. Mistake number 3 is wasting your dig. Stop mindlessly throwing your dig out like a noob. Use it to win chases and most importantly, win the games. When you're facing a really good looper, you really want to just use your stealth mode to dig under the survivors you're chasing and try to predict where they're going. This way you can get a guaranteed hit on your dig. Another important thing to note is that you should be using your dig the moment the round starts, so that you can go around the map and try to find survivors off the rip. This way you can utilize the dig to survey the map and see where everyone else is at. This will also help you find the generators and the battery packs because you know these are going to be hotspots that everyone's going to be at. So once you're done your dig, you can probably make your way towards them. Mistake number 4, it's using only one ability. Don't just spam the stealth dig in a chase. Dig under survivors, and while you're coming up, change into strength mode so you can get a free strength hit for the most damage. Mistake number 5, using the wrong ability in the wrong situations. This is a mistake tons of players make. Spamming speed mode to start chases or to catch up to other survivors. Instead, you should be chasing in strength or stealth mode just to maximize your damage. Using your dig when you have to and not just whenever you want. Also, using your leap in speed mode. Which brings us to mistake number 6. Never use your leap. This is the most useless ability in the game and you will just waste your time and survivors will just run away from you for free, pretty much making you a free win to the entire lobby. There is one cool thing you can do. When you're on the forest map, you can actually jump over these doors and get inside of them when someone's barricading them. That's probably the only time I would use the leap mechanic. Mistake number 7, prioritizing the right survivors. As the Mimic, you have so much power in choosing who to chase. You also get the most time to stalk survivors with your dig, meaning you get to find all of the medics early, stopping the game from going longer by killing the survivors that keeps everyone alive. During the early game, you should be prioritizing killing medics so that everyone else stays at low HP after a chase. Mistake number 8, chasing one guy when all the medics are dead. If you look at the bottom left corner, you can actually see everyone's class and who is dead and who is alive. Make sure you take advantage of this information and stop chasing one guy when you see all the medics and the customers are dead, since they are the only survivors that can heal. If you're in a chase, hit other survivors to get in the way. This will make the entire lobby scared of doing generators since they're all 1 HP. Then you can just slowly pick them all off one by one. Moving on to mistake number 9, you're using the grab wrong. Your grab is by far the strongest ability in your kit, apart from your dig. Stop grabbing survivors and throwing them instantly. Run around with them for a little bit or find other survivors while you're holding them. Why should you do this? Because you can throw the survivor you have grabbed into other survivors and ragdoll everybody like a bunch of bowling pins. Another thing you can do with your grab is bringing them all the way across the map from the exit. Sometimes you can even throw them so far away from the exit after 6 a.m. that you get your grab cooldown back in time just to throw them again. And then it's literally impossible for them to escape. You can also use your grab in chases to get guaranteed damage. Say you come across a really good survivor who tries to juke you and put the moves on you and run through you. If you can act in time, you can get a grab and throw them into a corner, which puts pressure on them and gives you free damage. And mistake number 10 for Mimic is hitting survivors that are still in their ragdoll animation. This one is really important for Mimic since 2 of your abilities are capable of ragdolling survivors. The reason I want to bring this up is because ragdolled survivors only take 5 damage. So what you should do after throwing a survivor or hitting them with your dig is changing into strength mode. You'll pretty much get a free kill if you do this properly and hit them when they are fully up off the ground. Now here are some overall takeaways from Mimic. The speed mode is for finishing, not for starting fights. Make sure you're on strength or stealth mode for real damage first. Don't just spam mode your ability switching, only change when it actually gives you an advantage. Use the dig with intention. You can track, predict, and secure hits instead of wasting it. Make sure you combine your abilities. Don't rely on just one, especially in chase chase mode. Match the ability to the situation. Don't just default to speed mode for everything. You're just going to be wasting your time being the tickle monster. Avoid using the leap. It wastes time and gives survivors free distance. Target medics early on to prevent survivors from sustaining and extending the game. Make sure you spread damage when healing is gone. Don't just tunnel vision on one survivor unnecessarily. Maximize your grab value. Use it for positioning, multiple hits, and control, not just instant throws. And don't hit ragdoll survivors. Wait for them to stand back up and deal full damage to secure the kill. Moving on to our second killer, it's going to be Enard. The first mistake, you're not building enough pressure. Enard is not a killer that likes to chase. His kit revolves around setting traps and tricking other players. Start off using your base disguise and follow someone around, but don't run. If you run, players will automatically know that you're the killer. The best thing to do is just wait until you find a large group of survivors on one generator and then just explode on all of them, dealing a bunch of damage to everyone. If you can't get a big group, try to just chase that one guy that's isolated and kill him before the rest of the survivors see him. Mistake number 2, you're not using your traps. The little wire eyes. As Enard, you should be zoning off survivors as much as you can because he's the hardest character to just hold W and chase survivors with, unlike Springtrap or Mimic. Make sure you chase a survivor until they find a spot they want to loop you in. Then spit out your little worms to close off their exits. This makes it super hard for the survivors to run away from you. Then you're going to get the upper hand, catch them off guard, and they're not going to be able to loop you. Mistake number 3, you're overusing the grab ability. The grab ability is not something you should use at the start of a chase or a mid-chase. You should use it after getting a hit off on a survivor. This should always guarantee you another free hit on survivors and most likely killing them, especially if you have your trap set up. Moving on to mistake number 4, it's not abusing the disguise. Disguise is literally why most people want to play Enard. So the fact that I will see people full sprinting without a disguise on as Enard makes me so confused because the disguise is literally so strong after the little rework that allows you to throw your traps at people. You can actually even emote now that you're in the disguise and pretend to go do the generators. This is great for luring people in. Moving on to mistake number 5, not trying to land direct hits with your disguised wired eyes. Some people don't know this, but if you throw your wire eyes directly at a survivor, it acts like a bomb and it will explode instantly and be free damage if you can hit it. If you do this properly and consistently, every survivor will be terrified of you. Mistake number 6, moving like a killer while disguised. Sprinting for no reason while you're disguised immediately gives you away when you're disguised. Try to blend in, walk around like you're hiding from the killer, then surprise everyone when you reach a big group. Mistake number 7, treating Enard like a chase killer. This connects to almost every mistake so far. Enard's stamina and design punishes long chases. If you're constantly running after survivors, you're ignoring his strongest tools. Make sure you rotate the pressure. Force survivors off of objectives and make them come into your setups instead of you running into theirs. Mistake number 8, wasting your M1 attacks. Your basic attack is extremely strong and can 3-shot survivors, but swinging too early gives survivors an easy dodge. Make sure you're patient, wait for clean openings created by the disguise, traps, or the panic movement. Mistake number 9, not comboing your abilities. Enard comes deadly when everything works together. M1 into the grab, wire eyes into an ambush, and then the disguise explosion into instant follow-up damage. These combos are what turn small advantages into instant kills. Mistake number 10, forgetting Enard's a mind game killer. At the end of the day, Enard isn't about speed or aggression, he's about confusion. When survivors stop trusting what they see, they hesitate on the generators and panic in loops. Now you've already won. Control the match mentally and the kills will come naturally. Here's some overall takeaways with Enard. You're going to build pressure through deception. Make sure you attack groups or go for isolated targets. Don't just run around randomly chasing people. Use the traps to control space and force the survivors into bad positions instead of chasing freely. Make sure you save your grab for after damage. Use it to secure kills, not to start fights. Abuse your disguise. It's your strongest tool, so always stay hidden when possible. Make sure you go for direct trap hits. Landing wire eyes directly gives instant damage and fear. Act like a survivor while you're disguised. Blending in is a lot more important than sprinting full speed. Don't play like a chase killer. Force survivors into your setups instead. Be patient with your M1 attack. Only swing when you have a guaranteed hit. Chain your abilities together. Combos are what make Enard lethal. And then win the game mentally. Confuse and pressure survivors until they panic and make mistakes. Fix these mistakes and you'll notice your Enard game becoming way easier. Stop chasing and start manipulating the game instead. Moving on to Springfield, our final killer. Our first mistake, you're not using the charge properly. Almost every Springtrap player doesn't actually know how to get full value out of their charge. When you use it, you can just chase the same survivor. But since Springtrap's charge does 40% of a survivor's current health, it's not very effective against low HP players. Instead, if you redirect your charge toward a full HP target, you can deal 40 damage instantly and follow it up with a free hit. But there's another mistake here. If you hit survivors while they're in their ragdoll animation on the ground, you only deal 5 damage. However, if you wait for them to stand up first, you can hit them up for 70% of their HP. Our next mistake for Springfield is the stamina usage. Spamming sprint to move around the map might feel good at first, but you won't like it when you're out of breath trying to actually chase someone. To fix this, save your stamina for when you're committing to a chase. Walking around is perfectly fine if survivors aren't heavily progressing the objectives. Also, keep in mind that stamina regenerates slower if you fully drain it, so when you hit around 10%, stop sprinting and start walking. Most survivors will burn all of their stamina to 0, which gives you the advantage to run them down. Our next mistake is you're not utilizing the axe. A lot of players just throw the axe randomly, they don't aim it properly, and end up wasting it and hoping it hits. Your axe is the strongest part of Springtrap's kit. It's the 3-shot when you have it, but turns into a 4-shot from 100 HP when thrown. The best way to use it is to hit a survivor first, then throw your axe. If you land it, it removes their speed boost because axe hits cause slow and bleeding. This basically guarantees a free kill if you can land the combo, since you can follow up with a basic hit or even a charge. Another mistake is not using your traps. A lot of Springtrap players place their traps on generators or random spots, which ends up wasting them. With the rework now, you can actually pick them back up. That's just going to be wasting a lot of time. Instead, you should be identifying the most common looping areas survivors use and placing traps at key doorways or choke points, and this way you can just wait for them to run into it and then go attack them. Getting looped like a noob. This is a classic that happens to almost everyone, especially with Springtrap. The mistake is chasing one survivor who can loop you forever. Sometimes you'll run into someone who's just really good at looping. In that case, the best thing to do is just leave them and go pressure other survivors who aren't as strong. Another key tip is to save your traps specifically for these types of players. Lock down their looping spots so they have nowhere to go at 6 a.m. The next mistake is you're not chasing properly. Most Springtrap players just mindlessly chase with no real plan. They chase, hit, chase, hit, chase, hit, chase, hit, and repeat over and over and over again. But the real strategy is to chase with your axe while full sprinting. If they panic, both of you will run out of stamina at the same time. The key moment is when you throw your axe. It unlocks your Scream ability. It fully resets your stamina and lets you continue the chase with your charge ability. This usually results in an easy 50% HP chunk on the survivor. Now, another mistake is getting parried. Have you ever chased someone forever just to get parried at the end? Here's how to stop this mistake from happening. When you're chasing a survivor using the fighter class, wait for them to run out of stamina. Make sure you get close, but don't swing. Let them panic and use their parry. Once their animation finishes, then you hit them. They'll just run off like a little clueless poopy player. So here are some overall takeaways for Springfield. Make sure you use the charge on healthy targets. Maximize damage and avoid wasting it on low HP survivors. Manage your stamina. Save your sprint for chases and never drain it completely. Get it down to 10% and then start sprinting again. Use your axe with purpose. Make sure you get a hit off first, then throw it to secure guaranteed kills. Place your trap strategically. Lock down the loop paths and the choke points, not just random areas. Don't get stuck looping. Drop the strong survivors and pressure the weaker ones instead. Chase with a plan. Use your axe plus stamina reset with the charge to extend pressure. And last but not least, bait out the parries. Wait for survivors to panic before committing to the hits. Play patient and calculated. Springtrap wins through combos, positioning, and smart pressure, not mindless chasing. You thought I was just gonna give you killer tips? Here are some more survivor tips for you to use. If you're using the customer class, please stop. Customer sucks and really has no contribution to the team at all. If you don't have any other classes, then just do as many tasks as possible so you can get your money to buy other classes. Enard minions traps can be led away from looping spots. So if a teammate is having a difficult time looping Enard, distract his little minions and lead them away from him. Come on, help your teammates out. Be a good teammate. Security guards aren't an offensive class. The taser should only be used to save other survivors in a chase. And you should focus on highlighting the killer so that your teammates can avoid the killer. Don't just continue to hold the doors closed when the killer is breaking it down. Just hold it once or twice and then book it. Doors should be used to regain stamina if you're running low, not to just hold them randomly. You can disarm Springtrap's traps. I really want to get this across because sometimes teammates will be cornered by his traps and no one helps them. So if the Springtrap killer is distracted or is really far away, start disarming the traps. Also, don't walk into them while someone is already trying to disarm it. That's just going to waste time and make it harder. The last tick on healing doesn't actually do anything, so cancel it prematurely to save a few seconds of time. Healers can also give overheal, which guards naturally have. If Mimic grabs someone, you can save them as a fighter by attacking the Mimic. They don't take any damage if you save them, so it's very helpful. Overall, just try to be a team player if you see your other teammates getting hunted or hit by the killer. Having the killer take you guys out one by one, sure, you're staying alive a little bit longer, but you're actually delaying the inevitable and making it harder on yourself. It's better if there's more of you guys alive, so please start helping your teammates instead of hiding in the corner. If you've made it this far into the video, I've got a bonus juicy tip for you. You guys might have heard about this little secret called the DSD. But before I get into the DSD, here's a quick one for you. You can lower your graphics quality so you can see the map a lot better. I mean, this itself is a cheat code. If you're struggling to survive longer and feel like you're always out of stamina, you're probably making this one mistake. And no, it's not your movement, it's how you're managing your stamina. I'm going to be breaking down the Survivor stamina and why it's actually OP right now if you use it properly. They brought back DSD. Decrease stamina drain, and most players are not taking advantage of it at all. Here's the biggest mistake I see. People just hold sprint the entire time. That feels right, but it's actually the worst thing that you can do. If you sprint non-stop, you burn all of your stamina early, and then when you actually need it, you've got nothing left. You're done. You're a deer stuck in headlights. You're stuck in the sand. You're stuck in the mud. The stop at 10 rule. Instead, what you want to do is follow the simple rule. Do not run your stamina to 0. Stop at around 10. That little bit of stamina you save, that's the difference between getting caught or escaping. Because once you dip too low, your recovery slows down and you lose control of the chase. But if you keep that small buffer, you can re-engage, reposition, and extend the loop. That's where DSD becomes absolutely insane. With decreased stamina drain, you're basically getting more value out of every movement. So if you're pacing your sprint correctly, running, stopping, repositioning, you can last way longer than the killer expects, and he's never going to catch you. And that's why it's so broken right now. Most people are still playing like the stamina is limited, when in reality, if you manage it properly, it almost feels infinite. Let's go over positioning and looping. Now this ties directly into positioning. You don't just want to run randomly across the map. You want to position yourself in looping spots, windows, tight corners, structures, areas that you can burn time. Because your goal isn't just to survive, it's to waste as much time of the killer's time as possible so your teammates can progress and survive as well. If you combine good loops with proper stamina management, then you're going to become insanely hard to catch. The doors. The doors. Do not let the killer control doors for free. Doors can either save you or they can trap you. Use them to create space, block paths, and force the killer to slow down. But if you ignore them, you're basically giving the killer free pressure. And make sure you listen for the sound effects. This is huge. A lot of killers give away information through audio cues, footsteps, abilities, charging sounds. If you're paying attention, you can react before you even see them. And that early reaction can give you a massive advantage in positioning your next move. And finally, the customer cola. This gives you energetic 15, which is a massive boost for stamina management. If you stack that with the DSD and proper pacing, you're basically turning your survivor into a stamina machine. I know I said customer is one of the worst classes, and I still think it is, but you can at least extract a bit more value if you're using the customer class. To pretty much sum it all up, don't sprint the entire time, stop your stamina around 10, and abuse the DSD properly. Position yourself in nice looping spots, make sure you control the doors, use your ears and listen for those audio cues, and then try to milk out your customer cola for extra stamina. If you do all of this, you'll notice instantly that you're lasting a lot longer in every single game. Make sure you drop a like and hit that subscribe button for the next Bite by Night video.